Yeah, welcome back to the TK Breezy stream, aka Top TK. Where if you seek it, I speak. Why is my camera tilted? You seek it, I speak it. We got a couple of topics today. We've talked about pretty cool stuff yesterday, but also we talked about my merch last week. So if you haven't already got a chance to get the merch, you only got about 1 week left. I think the sales end on the 29th. I'm recording this on the 22nd, so you got about 1 week left. I'm sure this will probably hit the YouTube in the next few days or whatever. But yeah, grab yourself some merch by typing exclamation point merch or looking below the in the info section because it's gonna be there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Our first question is from Trashboat441 saying, "You ever go to Burger King to get your burger and McDonald's to get your fries?" No. Mostly because I don't really do McDonald's in the first place, and I also really don't do Burger King. I think the only big corporation in that area that I eat is Wendy's. You know what I mean? Out of the fast food restaurants that are around everywhere that do burgers and fries, that are literally everywhere. It's pretty much Wendy's. So Burger King fell off for me a long time ago. McDonald's just feels weird when it hits my stomach. So yeah, I just don't really do too much of that. But if I was ever going to get anything from McDonald's, and after getting something from somewhere else, it'd definitely be that McDonald's Sprite, because that shit dumb spicy. You know what I mean? So yeah. We got Trap Lord Huey and KV both talking about fighting or Project L, but then KV Injo said how good fighting game players ate this past week with Multiverses, Nintendo X Panda, Project L, and DNF Duel. Yeah, definitely a lot of good fighting game content that came out, or just platform fighter or fighting game content that came out. I guess if we go down the list, Project L I'm super hyped for, mostly because I've played League since season 1, on and off. I played League from season 1 to 5 and then got back into season 10, but messed around a little bit in season 9 as well. Came back in because of TFT and then Senna. So it's cool to see characters that I know a lot about being put in a different franchise. I'm also super hyped to beat up on a bunch of MOBA nerds, because those guys are not going to shit about fighting games, and now that they have nobody to blame but themselves, you only get about 1 or 2 good days to beat up on these nerds until they go back to regular League. So I think that's my favorite part of new fighting games coming out, is people who just see iconic characters or whatever. They play the game and then they're like, wait a minute, I don't have nobody else I can blame when I'm losing, so I'm just gonna stop playing. But in those first 2 weeks, it's a good time. We also got the Multiverses. That was an announcement with the Warner Brothers Smash Bros. With a heavy emphasis on dubs. That's pretty interesting. I'm not really sure how exactly that's going to work out. I think in fighting games is one of the few areas where people, if you don't like depending on just yourself, then you're not going to like fighting games. Because in MOBAs and other team games and shooters or whatever, the thing is, you could be doing bad, but someone could always be doing worse than you, so you can blame it on that guy, right? In a fighting game, if you're doing bad, you're just doing bad, and there's nobody that's good. There's nobody you can blame but yourself, and you just gotta hold that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we'll see what happens in Multiverses. I'm not sure about doing random dubs. If you hop online and it's yeah, we're just gonna match you up with some random guy. I don't know if I'd like that, but we'll see. I mean, I like doubles though, so I'm a person that likes doubles, so this might be something that could pop. Well, yeah, we'll have to see in the future. The Nintendo X Panda event, we don't have too much information on that, so I really got to see what happens. I mean, it's cool that they included Melee, but are they going to include all the stuff that Melee has done to make the game better with UCF and Slippy and all that, or are we just playing base Melee? And then Ultimate is gonna be whatever. So not much variance in Ultimate from the way we play Ultimate and the way Nintendo play Ultimate. Except for maybe my items, and hopefully they don't put items on, but I mean, since Panda's handling it, probably won't. And then of course DNF Duel. Now I didn't play too much Dungeon Fighter, but I did like the concept of Dungeon Fighter. I think that game's pretty fucking dope. So DNF Duel, definitely another cool game. I'm probably gonna check out. It's from Arxis too, and Arxis really hasn't missed in a while with their games. So yeah, I may not play them for super long. For the time that I'm playing them, I'm having a good time. Backwards Furboy said, why is doubles in fighting games not more popular? I'm biased and personally like it a lot. Probably my favorite aspect of Warner Bros. Trailer. Just explained that in the last, section. But basically, doubles in fighting games are not super popular because, I mean, fighting games are not inherently a team game. You know what I mean? At least not a team game for you to play with someone else. You know what I mean? Like, because you're not in control. Like, in most situations where you're playing fighting games and doubles, you're not in control like the entire time. Like, if you look back to Street Fighter X Tekken, everyone had a controller, but like only one person was on the screen, and so the other person is just kind of sitting there until it's time to, until it's time for you to play yourself. So I don't know. I think that like that's one of the aspects, because in other team-based games you're always playing, even if you're not like inherently contributing to the team right now, you are always playing. So yeah, that's there's that. There's that. So outside of that, I mean, I guess I would have to say that like it's just usually not seen as like the main like draw to fighting games. I mean, we have all kind of things too that we have, like in Smash in particular, we even have other ways to play singles, and they're still not the main draw. People just want what's the most competitive, most standard. That's why you don't see Squad Strike like, as the main event for a lot of things. It's singles. It's always 1v1, my character versus your character, and that's in like every fighting game, or even in team fighting game, my characters are my team versus your team, but I'm controlling everyone. So I definitely like doubles myself. So I don't know, maybe this Warner Brothers things will pop off, but like I don't know. I feel like the last time the only time I really remember like a team game being made, like, focused fully on teams and everyone control their own character, was Dissidia, and that didn't go that well. But apparently it was more so the netcode than anything. And yeah, I guess I could see that, but I don't know. From playing Dissidia, the last one they made, and then playing Dissidia 12 and Dissidia the first one, I don't know. It was just a hard contrast for me. So I was like, I'd rather just play my own character without having to do all this team stuff. But that's just on me. That's just on me. I mean, apparently people love Dissidia. It was the net code that was really bad. So can't help that, man. Sometimes the net code's just ass. Maestro Gamer Watch said, we saw Incin and Puff players have a bit of a glow up recently. What other characters do you think will have that kind of rejuvenation? Well, it really depends on the patches and what we get next, because if there is a Sora patch coming, there may be some things that get fixed a little later. But as of right now, probably nothing. I think those two characters got the correct amount of buffs, and they were already piloted by some people who were like purists for that character anyway. You had Base Mage popping off for a long time. HBox was with them as well. I don't know about popping off, but he was with them. You had Sky J on the Incineroar, and there was like one other guy from Poor Party that was popping off too. And giving those players who are already good with those characters some buffs, were definitely going to be the rejuvenation. There were some other buffs too, man. I mean, saw some Zelda buffs, but I'm not sure if that's going to amount to anything because Zelda players are already pretty decent anyway. With like Ven and things, but I don't know. I feel like I want to know what happens now. Like, I'm definitely in the spot right now of the game where like I want to know what happens now that the game is fully out, basically, and we'll see if like shit pops off. You know what I mean? If people actually want to grind out the game the way that they say they do, like the way that the Melee players grind out their game. You know what I'm saying? Game ain't changed for Melee in 21 years almost, and they still out there doing it. So if they can do it, then obviously Ultimate, with all of the things that Ultimate has, almost 90 characters, pretty decent stage list, a bunch of stuff that's undiscovered, then it should be able to make the distance too, or at least to the next game, whenever the next game comes out, if the next game ever does come out. And before that whole argument is LOL, people didn't like Ultimate, they moved on to the next game. Smashers are stupid, and for some reason they believe that moving on to the next game means you don't like the old game, and that's just not true. That's just what happens when you're playing games that continue to get like reboots. You know what I mean? Like, no one says that shit about like Mortal Kombat when people go from Mortal Kombat 9 to 10 to 11, or Street Fighter 3 to 4 to 5, but only in Smash is when you move on to the next game, everyone's like, LOL, see, their game was so bad they had to go to the next one. It's new. Of course I'm gonna want to check it out. What are you talking about? Smash is stupid. Anyway. Anyway. Yeetus SSB said, could you talk about how you started in the community and how you became the amazing caster you are today? I just went to an event that I found on, I think it was Game Battles. It might have been Game Battles or All Is Brawl, one or the other. But I started playing Game Battles when Brawl first came out. You know, I was just online. My Falco was popping off. I was like top 10 for a bit. It was nice. But after about 6 months, I was like, oh, I want to go to a real tournament. So I found a real tournament then, because I was in Maryland. I didn't really have any friends or whatever. And that's how I started going to tournaments. I didn't start casting until 2009. And I don't even really say I was casting when I first started. I was just talking shit on the mic to people in the chat. But then like in 2010, I actually started like really casting and like paying attention to the game and learning shit. The reason I am the caster I am today is basically just taking advice from the chat, man. The chat back then was ruthless. If they didn't like you, bro, I mean, like, they're still ruthless now, but it's mostly just like, you know, where's EE, where's TK, where's Coney, stuff like that. But back in the day, it wasn't where's someone else. It was just them shitting on you directly. So I had to like kind of like siphon through what was said to see what was decent advice. You know, some people would be like, oh, I fucking hate this guy, but other people were like, man, you know, wish this guy would, you know, do a little more research for the game. Like, all right, cool. Or wish this guy would stop stuttering as much. All right, cool. Let me work on that. And that's the stuff that I worked on. And then I just kind of like, I don't know, I paved my own way, basically. Like that's really what happened in this match, because there was no blueprint for commentary. I mean, there was commentators ahead of me that were already getting a little shine, but they weren't so far ahead of me that I had to look up to them. Like, you know, Prog and D1 were already there for a bit. Toph and Scar, you know what I mean? The New Jersey people were kind of popping off before Xanadu popped up. So I don't know, there wasn't really a lot to look up to, so I pretty much just like did my own thing. And I don't think I've ever like studied commentary or anybody else's commentary to be like, man, I really want to do that. I can definitely have appreciation for other people's commentaries. Like I appreciate Yipes, Say Jam, Tasty Steve, but I'm never like looking at their commentary like, man, I got to do that. I just, whenever I see someone I appreciate commentary with, I just want to commentate with them at some point in time. So, you know, that's basically where I'm at with them. Like I want to commentate with that guy. Still haven't got a chance to commentate with Yipes, but we've never done the same games. Chris Matrix is up there as well. So, you know, a lot of good commentators look at and be like, damn, those guys really did it. But yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of just, you know, I don't say I paved the way, but we definitely put down some level of a blueprint for Smash, as far as like the commentators who like transition to making this a full-time career with other things. You know, we obviously, me, EE, and Coney are all doing commentary and content. Coney's probably going to slide out of commentary soon and go directly into content. I still like commentary a lot, even if I'm like, and I'm still like doing things like, I don't ever want to go negative for a tournament, but I definitely will go do a homies tournament for like a way smaller rate than I'm usually doing if like they need it. And I genuinely think I want to talk about the tournament. So, but yeah, I'm not going negative for nobody's tournament. Fuck that. Anyway, Muse says, what makes someone the GOAT? I mean, I don't know. There's like definitely a bunch of qualifications for what makes people the GOAT, but I don't know. I feel like it's just being generally good at whatever you have to do at a consistent level. So generally good commentator, generally good player, generally good person. You're all at like a 90% or better ratio. That's GOAT status to me. So yeah. Speaking of GOATs, Cubmaster says, I find it that Music King's placing in the top 100 Melee player list was too low, and I personally would consider him top 4. I would like to hear your thoughts on his placing in the overall list. I didn't do the whole 100 because it's not like I'm that super versed in Melee, but I did look at the top 10. And I feel like the thing is, even in this, there's still like a level of like what the fuck factor to me. But I think that's just because I'm like, I understand that these people have legacy, right? But like Ozin and PPMD and Ken being number 4, like I get that, like, you know, he dominated like in the early parts of Melee, but like Melee is a 20-year-old game. You know what I mean? So like, if you're dominating for like the first 3 years, that's great. There's 17 whole years you don't really exist. And I'm sure it was more than 3 years, you know what I mean? But like, it definitely wasn't more than half the game. So like, I'm gonna give respect this dude. Ken has a whole combo named after himself. You know, Ozin and Chillin, big team back in the day, or big doubles team back in the day. And honestly, Ozin was definitely popping off for quite some time. But the things I remember about these people don't really have GOAT status to me. You know what I mean? PBMD, I think he just still deserves. PBMD definitely deserves to be in the top 10. And I think where he's at in the top 10 makes a lot of sense to me at being number 7. Music King being number 5 is like okay. I think I would have swapped him and Ken. But the top 3 being Mango, HBox, and Armada seems to be pretty on point. I think there could be a case for Music King being number 3 as well, seeing that he had a very dominant reign over Melee, and was still popping off a little later into the Melee as well. Still definitely placing in top 8s and shit like that. Plus, you know, he was good at a bunch of games. Now, if we're doing top Smash players of all time, Music King I feel like has to be in the top 2 easily for his reign over multiple games, right? But I don't know, man. It's just I just don't see Music King being under Ken for sure. So I don't know. I mean, I think the rest of this list altogether is pretty nice though. Plup S10, Zane is 9. I mean, got to give it up to Zane. He has definitely came out of like nowhere. Like, well, I don't want to say he was nowhere, but you know, once Zane started placing well, like he never stopped placing well. So big shouts to Zane, man. You know, they got his results here. First at Genesis, first at Shine, and then second at Big House, Low Tier, and Smash Summon 11. So that, I mean, that's great for him. But then you look back at like other people's things. You know, you got Ozin first at Tournament Go 6, MLG playoffs, MLG Orlando, Viva La Smash, Smash Taclism, and MLG Seattle. And all this is from 2004 to 2007. Like that just, you know, and we're now in 2021. Like I don't know. Something about that just don't sit right with me, bro. Something about that just doesn't sit right with me. It's something about it. Like Music King's got results from 2007 to 2016. Plus he also won one of the recent summits. So, or one of the, you know, more recent summits. So just, I don't know. Like I feel like there's definitely a little variance here. Here on the other side of things though, you see Mango's got variance from 2009 to 2021 or 2021. So like definitely a lot going on in that list. I'm not gonna say I fully disagree with it because again, there's probably some things I just missed. If you want to talk like Melee history, you got to talk to Toph, man. That man can remember back air hitting in 1920. You know what I mean? And who did it and what percentage and what stage, like, you know. So I understand that these people definitely were pivotal in the game getting out there, but you know, you can't like, I don't know, man. Maybe we equate it to like, you know, Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth, you know, still being touted as some of the baseball's best, even though like they were around baseball way early and stuff like that. While we now have new GOATs in baseball and things like that, but you still got to put respect on the names of the old GOATs. So maybe it's something like that. So yeah. And then I think last, but you said Mango's lost to pretty much everyone. Mango's got a decent amount of losses, but he's also got a crazy amount of wins too, man. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, you know, he wins when it like matters, I guess. You know, everyone's having a hard time with Zane, and he was the only person to really do it. So, you know, yeah. And then our last question today is from Arby's Wi-Fi saying top 10 smashers in any Smash game you'd enjoy hanging out with outside of the Smash scene. I don't know if I have 10, but let me go ahead and let me make another list so that way I got it. All right. First things first, my best friends, Pink Fresh. Right? Coney, EE, Charles, Void. All right, that's 5 right there. Hugs, love that guy. Shroomed. Mango. All right, that's 8 right there. Trying to figure out who else I'll be hanging out with like that when it's time to go out. Oh, Vish. Vish, that's my guy. I love Vish. Love Vish. I feel like, see, the last part is like, it's kind of a toss-up. It's like between, there's so many people here. Is Bam or is Vicky? Or is Max? Damn. I'm gonna say Bam because me and Bam be jamming in the. We go to the club, it's a nice time, bro. We be dancing it up. So yeah, Pink Fresh, Coney, EE, Charles, Void, Hug, Shroom, Mango, Vish, and Bam. Those are the homies, bro. Honorable mentions to obviously Vicky, Max as well. Rod, love that guy. You know, def my peeps. So gotta give it up to him right there. Man said, who's the weirdest smasher? I don't look. There's definitely some weird smashers out there for sure, but I don't know who to give the weirdest. Remember that Sonic? Y'all remember that Sonic player from SoCal? Man, well, I feel like his name was just Black Sonic, but he ran into me recently at main stage. He walked up to me and he was like, yo, you probably don't even remember who I am. I was like, no, I remember you. You're that wild ass Sonic player. No. He's from SoCal. Can't remember his name. He was super wild. For I think for either rager reasons or just saying weird stuff. I could have swore his name was like Black Sonic or something like that. But you know, it is what it is. But that dude was weird. I'm actually pretty close to Esan, man. Like me and him are, you know, we talk a lot about game theory and stuff. And in general, just, you know, all right guy. I mean, like, he's, you know, he has his weird quirks, but yeah, I don't think he's like weird. Like, you know, I think you just have think you just really kind of upset. Like the way that you coming about that making you look a little weird right now, to be honest. Anyway, I'll never be able to remember that guy's name. But you know, yeah. But yeah, so that's it for Topic Talk, man. This will be going up on YouTube, obviously. And if for some reason you have not already bought some merch, make sure you get some stuff from merch. We got these in black. We got joggers. We got joggers in black. Currently wearing the gray ones right now. Them joints is nice. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself some merch here. Got the little logo here. It's fucking nice. You feel that? All right. So get yourself some merch. Type exclamation point merch. But I will see you guys on the next Topic Talk soon, man. If you have any comments that you want to spread, make sure you go ahead and put that in the comment section below. If you've never set foot to the TK Breezy stream, it's twitch.tv/TK Breezy, real easy to get into. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all guys on the next Topic Talk. And when you see the tweet come up, you got anything you want me to talk about, then reply to the tweet. Got me? You got me. That being said, I'll catch you guys on the next Topic Talk. Peace.